I'll do whatever's comfortable. I mean,
But I mean, if you,
I understand you're immunocompromised or something, and we'll whatever you're comfortable with, I'm comfortable with. Okay.
Yes,
Mask on.
Yeah.
Mask
Okay,
on.
that's fine. Just if you're yelling at me, that's preferable. I'm okay with that.
All right.
Go ahead, sir.
Say your name, please.
Leonard Churchill.
And you had the spelling, or do we need the spelling? Okay. I'm going to hand you what has been previously marked as Exhibit 11. And here is a copy for you. Are you familiar with that document?
Isn't this just the notice for today?
That is correct.
Yes.
All right. And pursuant to that notice, there was a exhibit attached requested to produce certain documents, and I see you do have some documents. Did you produce documents today?
Yes.
All right. And on the kind, if we would look at Exhibit A, the first category of documents is any and all documents you claim proves ownership of any item listed on Exhibit 1 of the plaintiff's petition. Did you produce those documents in your possession and control?
Yes.
Do you have, I also asked for copies of any digital images you have of the plaintiff who is present here from the period of time March 1, 2021 through July 2021. Did you produce those digital images?
There wasn't any other than the video that you already had from a previous case. I don't know what.
And the video you're referring to is the video that was used in the, that was, at least we had reviewed of March 19, 2021, correct?
I think that was the date, yeah.
Okay. I ask you to produce any and all documents you claim that the plaintiff is the owner of the Social Inspector, LLC. Did you produce such documents?
What I have, yes.
Fine. And any and all documents, notes, diaries, or written documents related to ownership of property listed in Exhibit 1 of the plaintiff's petition. Did you produce that?
Yes.
So what you're telling me now is you produced to me all documents within those categories of documents that I requested that you have in your care, custody, and control, except the digital images.
Well, you have that, but yes.
But you're saying that you do have digital images.
Just the video.
Do you, just out of curiosity, don't you have your house wired so that you can sort of put cameras at various locations in the home so that you can record events in that home?
Yes, but it's a limited, like it only stores for a set period of time on their cloud service.
Do you, and what is, so you are, do you store these images to the cloud, or do you store them to a local, what do you call it, CPU, or how do you store those images?
It's all on a cloud service with the cameras.
All right. And you're saying that you think that anything, listen, just got myself today, I'm going to, give me a 13, will you? You'll be able to give, I'll give you a copy.
Okay.
That's a list of documents that's under the general heading of Carissa's things, is that correct?
Yes.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't copy him,
Oh, okay.
but he has a copy of it.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Have you had a chance to kind of look at that?
I mean, I just skimmed over it now, yes.
Just, let's skip over it, just with the understanding you may have a subsequent claim. Is there anything on there that you identify as something that you want?
Not that jumps out, but I was under the impression that when they came in May that a majority of the stuff, minus what was in the basement, was already removed, like jewelry and stuff, so.
You keep that. When you modified your child support orders, were you required to make disclosures of what your current income is and where you were earning your income?
Yeah.
Did you have to complete an income and expense statement?
Yes.
And are they on file?
I would assume that they're on file with the courts.
Got it. You in fact got charged originally with a felony failure to pay child support in Clay County, Missouri. Is that correct?
Those were charges that were brought against me, yes, but they've been amended.
I don't have a stapler. I'm gonna hand you exhibit number 12. Here.
I have a paper clip.
Thank you. And please glance at that document and tell me if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, this looks like the amended charges in Clay County from what I can tell.
And well, your signature appears to be on there, does it not?
Mm-hmm.
And each page does have your signature. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'm going to take one of yours, okay? I think my last number is 16. Let's see here.
That's the largest number you've used today.
16.
This will be 17. I'm going to hand you what's been marked as exhibit number 17. Maybe. We'll circle back to that. I know. So it's your testimony now today that since you left AAC in 2019, you have earned zero income.
I mean, I wouldn't say zero. I haven't been employed.
And I asked you, do you have any other sources of income? And I think your response was friends and family. Are there any other sources of income?
Nothing as far as like a stable income, but if I do any kind of like of the upcycling stuff, I may sell like here and there, but it's nothing of.
How much have you? How much?
I mean, maybe a couple $100 here and there type kind of.
All right, so you have a $1,500 a month rental payment, correct?
Yes.
$400 a month child support in Clay County, correct?
Yes.
$200 per month child support in Johnson County, correct?
Yes.
Do you pay your own utilities?
Yes.
And how much are they? Average.
Average, I don't know, maybe $350 maybe.
And where do you bank? You say you have a savings account. How much was in your savings account and at what bank?
Well, I don't have a savings account anymore. I did.
All right, and where was that?
It was at CapFed.
And do you maintain a checking account now through CapFed?
I have one, but I don't use it regularly.
Do you ever use CapFed to cash checks that you may get for your upcycling?
I don't usually do checks.
Do you ever get a check?
Couldn't tell you the last time I did.
Do you get any checks or any other payments from Square One?
From where?
Square Business System? Square Business? Are you familiar with Square Business at all?
I mean, I've heard of Square.
It's your testimony today that you do no business in Square Business. Is that what you're telling me today under oath?
No. I have an account that I had from years ago.
And what was that account for?
It was just like a personal one, with the little reader thing from cards.
When's the last time you received any payment from Square Business?
I would have to go back and look. I don't know.
Have you received any payment from Square Business in the last 3 years?
Not that I can recall.
You don't receive regular payments from Square Business for any work that you may do?
No.
Do you own any Bitcoin?
No.
Do you ever withdraw money from an ATM?
Occasionally, but not.
When you withdraw money from the ATM, that's when you draw money out of your own account, is that correct?
Yeah.
When's the last time you withdrew money from an ATM?
A couple weeks.
All right. And there was money in that account, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so if I subpoenaed the records, which I will have that, it will show me the deposits and the withdrawals, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And are those deposits in cash?
No.
All right. When you make a deposit at Fed, do you fill out a deposit ticket?
No.
You don't fill out a deposit ticket?
No.
Do you identify in any way the source of the deposit?
What do you mean?
So I go to the bank with my deposit ticket, okay? I'm giving you an example. And behind that I have the checks that I'm depositing and or I illustrate the cash, okay? Do you do that when you put money into your bank at CapFed?
When you do a deposit there, you just swipe your card and like your PIN and you submit either the cash or the check, or it can be an online transfer.
Okay, so how are you getting money into your account and how do I identify the source of that money?
Most of it is just like the online transfers from my individuals that are helping my friends and my family.
To the tune of a couple $1,000 a month or more, correct?
Yes.
How long have they been helping you?
For a few months.
And if you would be more than 5 or less than 5?
Probably more.
More than 10?
No.
So somewhere between 5 and 10, correct?
Yeah.
And do you have any promissory notes or anything else where you'll have to repay them if you're successful in your disability?
Nothing as far as like any documents or anything like that.
You do know that documents you submit in a Social Security case are under oath?
Yeah.
And do you know it's just like testifying in court that if you don't tell the truth on those documents, that it could be a federal offense? Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're here without an attorney, is that right?
Yes.
Right. And you know you have a right to have an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you don't feel like you need one.
Right. I can't afford one.
Did you pull 14 from me?
I don't think I got that. Here's
Sure, it is in here somewhere.
14.
Yeah. Page 14. And that is a copy of the petition that I filed on behalf of Ms. Bremer we're here on today. Okay.
This was the first items list and everything at the beginning of this case, right?
Just a moment. This is in fact the petition that was filed this
Okay.
And you're familiar with that document, correct?
Yes.
And that was filed some months ago, correct?
Yes, I believe it was in April.
And there was attached there to it Exhibit 1.
Yes.
And on Exhibit 1, there's a list of property. And I will represent to you that some of these 92 items listed duplicate those items I've shown you today. With that understanding, have you had a chance since April to review Exhibit 1? To Petitioner's Exhibit 14.
I believe this was the list that we were in communication.
Well, let me help you out. This is the discussion. I ask questions, you answer. The question is did you have an opportunity to review this since April?
From what it looks like, yes.
All right. So you have reviewed it. Is that a yes or no?
Yes.
Right. On exhibit, and then I asked you some requests for admissions, asked that you admit that she owed those items, and you denied that. You recall that?
Yes.
All right. What items, having had a chance to look at those on this list, by number, if you can, do you claim that you own?
This would be the list that we were in communication about with the agreement.
Hold a minute.
It would be something that I would have to address at trial.
No, I'm asking you to address it now. You've had this since April, okay? And I'm asking you, did you review it? And can you now tell me in the court, by the numbers, which one of those items you claim are yours?
No. I would refer to the agreement that was in place.
I'm going to ask you not to. I understand that you're making a claim that there's an agreement, and I'm telling you there's no agreement. I told you that in an email that there was never a meeting of the minds. It's only your attempt to control this woman. It's not going to work anymore. Here's what I'm telling you today. You've had an opportunity to review this exhibit, correct? Since April. And I'm asking you to tell me now, by the number.
I'm not able to.
You're not able to?
No.
Why not?
Because this list was reviewed by us, and we came to an agreement that you say no longer exists, so
I say it never existed, but that's the here or there. I'm asking you, you're telling me that you've had this since April, and you can't tell me, by the numbers, which items of those properties you claim are yours.
Well, in April, we had an agreement. Now we don't.
Please. I understand you're arguing about the agreement. That's not the answer to my question. The answer to my question is, have you reviewed these, and what are they?
I can't answer the question number by number.
So basically, you're saying that there's items on here that you own, but you can't tell me what they are after having this list since April.
No, because we had an agreement where...
I'm asking you again not to refer to the agreement. You can try and prove that agreement in trip court, okay? That's your right to do that. You can try and prove a settlement in court. You've pled it. All right? I'm asking you what items on here do you claim are yours, and you're telling me you can't tell me.
As of this moment, there is no answer I can provide.
There is no answer you can provide.
Right.
Fair enough. I'm going to hand you exhibit number 15. I'm going to ask you first of all, can you identify that?
It looks like some state business thing.
So would you agree that purports to be copies from, non-certified copies retrieved April 18th, 2021 from the Kansas Secretary of State, showing the formation of a limited liability company called the Social Inspector?
Okay.
Would you agree that's what it says?
Yes.
And would you agree that the name of that organizer was Legal Zoom?
Legal Zoom?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think it's actually Shapiro's company. Did you institute or did you initiate the creation of the Social Inspector through Legal Zoom?
Not on my own, no.
Not the question. Did you initiate it?
Then, no.
No. Who initiated it?
It was a joint.
Joint with whom?
Makenzie.
So you're saying you and Makenzie did that, is that correct?
I mean, I was the one, like, for the technical side of it.
You worked at a company that was closely, if you will, in a similar business at AAC, correct?
No. They didn't do any... I mean, it was a call center base, so...
But it did identify their customers, inspectors, correct?
Okay, yes.
And when you left, weren't you required to sign a non-compete agreement?
had to sign that prior to leaving, and it went into effect.
On your on your departure. And at the time that this document was generated, the filing date is 1/22/21, correct? You see the very top there?
Uh-huh.
Were you at that time in the process of making an application for Social Security?
I had already submitted for Social Security well before.
What is well before? I don't know. When did you submit?
I think it was August of 2020. I'd have to go back to confirm, but it's somewhere in that range.
And when you submitted in August of 2020, did you have to make a declaration on that submission that you had not worked for at least 180 days, 6 months?
I don't know about that part.
When's the last date that you worked?
All I know is it was January of 2019 off the top of my head. It was late middle of the month.
And so in 2019, at that point in time, were you living off of your savings?
I was with Makenzie.
And so between her revenue and where was she working?
I don't remember. I think it was Bath and Body Works.
Let's go back to this document. So did the two of you form this company to do a business?
I helped do all of like the tech stuff. She was the owner.
And what did she know about the inspection business? Do you know?
I don't know, but as far as like the marketing and like the social media stuff.
Okay, now I want you to be careful here because this is going to come back, and I want you to know that. I want to be upfront with you. She doesn't own that, she claims.
Okay.
She claims that you created that for purposes of avoiding child support. Do you agree or disagree?
With what she thinks, or with
What I'm telling you, did you create this document? Did you create this company as a means to avoid child support?
No.
And when this company was created, in fact, were you involved in some issues for non-payment of child support in Johnson and Clay County? Some claims you were paying?
I believe the Clay County had already started. I'm not sure about Johnson.
Did the Makenzie Bremer have a Google account that you're aware of?
I know she had like a Gmail, so I would assume.
My question, I guess, is do you have a phone number that ends in the last two digits, 46?
Yeah.
And when you change passwords in a Google account, do you know how you go about that?
I never had to go through Google. I've gone through like the Apple process, so I don't know. Like if you go on the Google itself.
All right. So then, if you do an Apple ID, okay.
No, I meant like if you go into the passwords and you select the Google account, it has like it'll prompt you to go through like update stuff on the Google account.
Did you use the Apple ID that you were aware of, that Makenzie Bremer had to change her password?
I don't know what her Apple ID is.
But you would also agree that when you make a change on an Apple ID, that among the things that in that process are a confirming phone number so they can document that it's you that's making the change.
I think it could be phone or email.
Exhibit 9. I'm going to try to anyway. I just have to make entirely too many copies. It makes it more difficult than it needs to be. I'll never it out. Thank you. Here is Exhibit number 9. I'll ask you if you're familiar with that document. Have you ever seen anything like that document? Let me also advise you that this document, in its native format, goes horizontally across the screen. This would be the first page, the second page.
Oh, okay, so these connect.
That is correct. They will connect in that way. But importantly, the names that are an issue are on exhibit number 9. And have you ever seen anything like that?
I mean, it looks like a spreadsheet, but as far as this spreadsheet, no.
Have you ever created that spreadsheet?
No.
Are any of the names on that spreadsheet familiar with you? Familiar to you?
Not from first glance.
Well, take a minute. We'll move along pretty quickly here.
I don't see any.
So none of these are familiar to you?
I mean, I know that's through Makenzie, but that's the only one that I can say for sure.
And if there was testimony that in fact these are customers of the social inspector, a company that you're running, according to us, they're giving you money each month for doing what social inspector does, to the tune of about $117,000 a year, that we believe is your revenue. Would you disagree with that?
I would.
Do you know, as we sit here, that I believe that I can prove that allegation to be true?
Okay.
And you know, if I prove that allegation to be true, which I think I will do, then we'll have repercussions for you.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to be fair with you.
No, I know.
I want to be fair with you because to be candid with you, if I was sitting in your chair right now, I would be taking the Fifth Amendment. I'm being straight up front with you. I don't want to not traps or anything like that. It is going to be our contention and our proof as to count 2 that in fact you formed the social inspector for purposes that we've already described: avoiding child support, avoiding potential liability on a non-compete, to hide your income. And it done so successfully. It's further going to be our contention that you made the comments, you've made reports to authorities as to your income that are not accurate, that were in fact false and maybe perjurous. And that's among the things that's going to happen because of your denial that you own the social inspector. Do you understand that?
I understand, but those statements would be made by myself as well as Makenzie if they're false.
If you lie, you got to pay. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're denying that you make about $117,000 a year.
If I made that, I'd have an attorney and I wouldn't need help.
That wasn't the question. You're saying that you do not make $117,000.
Right, I don't.
And you don't run the social inspector.
No.
And you don't run the social realtor.
No.
You don't know anything about these. So when I
know about the social inspector, but that was just with the helping of getting things set up.
You're saying that she did everything on the social inspector.
I don't know what was done.
Do you know that the social inspector received its payments through Square Business, and they were sent to, I think, a UPS address, or where were they sent?
Yeah, there's a UPS.
And that we can document that you received that money. Do you know that? There's a lot of reasons I'm doing this. Not necessarily to you, but maybe for you. Well, you may not believe that.
No, I mean, as far as the social inspector, I don't have any comment on that. I'm not the owner.
So, the social inspector come income tax time, you're not gonna claim any of that income, are you?
I'm not the business owner.
And you're gonna claim that she received that income.
The address is used on her YouTube channel,
You
so
are going to claim that she received that income, if any, is that correct?
I don't have an answer for that.
If there's any income to social inspector, you're saying certainly not yours.
If I was getting income, I would have a lawyer.
The answer to the question is no, you're not receiving any income, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
As I mentioned, when it comes to the social inspector, I don't have any answers.
Don't you know that there's a paper trail on the social inspector and that I can trace it to you? Don't you realize that? No, I'm not going to do it today. It's going to happen.
Okay.
And I'm trying to keep you out of trouble, but you're not paying attention. All we want is stuff back. And all you've done is resist. Give us back your stuff. Maybe this deposition never gets published. You are in danger, and I have to do this because of... I'll even tell you, I've got to examine you on this because of KSA 60420. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to do it.
As far as the social inspector or anything that's on record with the courts, it would be any kind of statement by me as well as Makenzie.
I didn't ask you that. You're running the social inspector, and we're going to be able to prove it, okay?
Okay.
You also formed a company called the Social Realtor, correct or not correct?
I don't have
You
any.
have no idea that.
No.
Would you agree that the website uses what's that nickname? That he uses as a pseudonym for you, for him? And the
Which one?
Mac and the inspector.
Oh, Bremer Lego.
Lego. Is that a nickname of yours?
Used to be.
And it was a nickname that got you received from where?
It was within the family.
And so Bremer Lego, is that in fact an identity you've assumed for running a social inspector?
No.
In your house, do you have computers?
Yeah.
How many?
As far as like a desktop or laptop.
Desktop, laptop, all computers. Do you have a desktop?
I have like the MacBook little thing. It's not the traditional desktop, but
Do you have a regular CPU, I call it, or just with a monitor and a screen and a
that
power?
would be the MacBook. Yeah.
Do you have like?
Or like the mini Mac is what it's called or something like that.
How many iPads?
2.
Would you dispute that you have 2 tower computers and 1 laptop and 2 to 3 iPads?
Yes, I would just
And who is your internet service provider at your residence?
Google.
Google. And so the IP address for your devices is with Google, and those are at your house, correct?
I think the answer is yes. I mean, I don't know when it comes to that IP and all that stuff.
Okay, well I do. All right, now then let me ask you this. Has anybody been on your computers but you since March of 2020?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, iPad. My daughter has her own iPad, but
And so that if I were able to trace activity through the IP address to computers in your home for social inspector, do you have an explanation as to how I would be able to accomplish that?
that's outside of my scope of knowledge.
Because what you're telling me and telling the court and all who want to hear it is that you don't do anything with social inspector, and if it's your IP address, it was someone else. Is that correct?
Again, I don't know how all that works, so I don't know.
Let me help you out. An IP address is located. It will be identified to your device, and the activity on that device is that IP address is traceable and discoverable through a subpoena to Google, which will happen.
Okay.
I predict for you, it's going to show that you've been on that IP, on that device, that you've been doing business with the people that we've identified in Exhibit number 9, and maybe others.
Okay.
Now, if I do that, what's your explanation for that?
I wouldn't have one.
will hand you. Shuffle through these. I need 10. I handed you exhibit number 10, which is just a list of names.
This looks like the other one, just in a different format.
I would agree that that's how it appears.
Okay.
But and it's a little more readable format, which is why I'm showing it to you. Looking at the names on exhibit 10, they just, the first page and on 10-2 are the name list. Do you recognize any of those names?
Again, it just looks like the same as the other.
On page 10-6, 10-7 and 10-8.
Okay.
There were dollar amounts listed. Most of them appear to be 200 to 200. Most of them are at $200 in that area. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And I'm going to represent to you that those amounts, if you put this on a spreadsheet side to side, okay, that those amounts would correspond with the names that are on pages, exhibit 10, page 1 and 10-2. And is it your testimony that you have no knowledge about those amounts and who those payments are being made to?
Correct. I don't. What's up here that's printed over? Is that anything?
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, I get to ask the questions, but I'll answer this one and tell you I have no idea. How's that?
Okay.
What did you report to the Clay County prosecuting attorney or through your attorney? In connection with the case, in the criminal case that you entered a plea on Exhibit 12, what did you report your income to them as?
As far as the Clay County case, that was Makenzie as being the income.
All right, so you're saying that in June of 21, June 21st, 2021, the only income you reported to Clay County was Makenzie's income?
I don't think I had to report that. That was already reported at the beginning when that case first started. And
was Makenzie providing you any income in 2021, in June of 2021?
in June?
Correct.
No, we weren't together.
Did you clarify that to the court that there was no longer an income?
It wasn't brought back up as far as income. That stuff was already submitted.
When you
June was just the conclusion of it all.
and when you appeared in court in June 2021 in front of the judge?
So.
No?
I believe so.
All right. And when the court put you under oath?
Yeah.
They examined you?
It was basically just the plea agreement. They just went through that.
And that plea agreement was predicated upon your current income and your current medical status, correct?
the information that had already been submitted. It isn't like they asked for it again.
So at the time of the plea, you entered into a plea agreement, and you knew at that time that the income that had been reported earlier was not your current income, is that correct?
Right.
And you didn't correct that because you didn't feel the need to?
I wasn't advised by my lawyer or any, I just did what I was told to do by my counsel.
Well, I can't get into, and will not get into, attorney-client privilege. But are there any documents that you're aware of that you filed with the court that would be the declaration of your income?
Yeah, I had to do the child support form.
Do you recall at or near the time of the breakup a conversation with Makenzie where you told her, said, if you bring all this fraud stuff up, we are both going down?
And not that I can recall. There was a lot that.
And in fact, didn't you institute protection from abuse to make sure that she couldn't get into the house to retrieve her things?
No.
In January of 2021, did you generate an earnings statement alleging that Makenzie Bremer earned income from social inspector?
What do you mean?
That's what I mean. Did you generate an earnings statement that said Makenzie Bremer earned income from the social inspector, 13505 South Merlin Road, Suite 105, number 236, Olathe, Kansas?
I wouldn't have a way to generate any kind of thing that had to do with the company like that.
I'm going to ask you to do something and agree to do something now. It means something to be objective. On the computers that you currently have, I'm asking you as a matter of spoliation, the thing that's called an anti-spoliation doctrine, which means there's controversy, there's things in litigation. When I tell you about a document, you can't modify, destroy, or otherwise get rid of it, okay?
Yeah, I know.
All right. When I ask you, have you done anything to your computers, any of them, to remove, change, or modify any documents that may have been identified say within the last year?
No.
So, your computer and your hard drive and
It's all for personal use stuff like my own.
and it's not been changed. You've left it intact.
Yeah, I haven't.
Are you familiar with the address of 13505 South Merlin Road, Suite 105, number 236, Olathe, Kansas?
Yeah.
And what's there?
It's a UPS store.
And do you use that UPS store?
I mean, I ship stuff, and yes, I've used it.
Have you used that address as a business address for any enterprise?
No.
Stay a break. We'll organize stuff. We'll go faster. It'll take about 15 minutes. We'll go to the bathroom. Come on back.
Okay.
I knew you'd do that.
Do you see how bad he's shaking?
I knew you'd do that. I knew you did.
What?
He hung around.
You what?
He hung around. He wanted to listen to the conversation. All the things I'm saying, I can prove.
That'll be very interesting.
It will be.
If you
I've
really,
given him every opportunity to have this. Haven't I?
I
I'm taking absolutely all of this stuff. I'm going straight to her lawyer. We're going to turn it all in. We can document his IP, and he's flirting with going to jail.
right, not just that, but you can call every single person on
We're
there.
going to. So, all right,
And-
let's go through and make sure that I.
let me use the ladies' room before we
Please.
go back to start. I apologize,
No, I
I'm
know.
getting older.
It's for later.
Okay.
Let's go through. I'm going to go through your trial.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Make sure you got
But I
it all
want to
in
make
there.
sure that I've been what was my penchant for not numbering things consistently and going through stuff. I have to make sure that I got everything.
You know I will hunt you down afterwards if there's something
No, I'm
that's
going to make sure you got them all. I know that. So
He doesn't want me to hunt him down.
No, I'm not actually here. We'll get there. There's uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, That's the method of my madness. Usually when I do cases, they have a lot of documents. I've got my hoping as clumsy as I've been with these documents today, it's hard to believe that I've done as many as 1,000 documents in a case. Let me see. Exhibit number 9 is that spreadsheet, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number 10 is the real. Number 11 is the deposition notice. Number 12 is that. 13 is this. 14 is that. 15 is that. And 16 is that. And I think that's all the documents is about.
Here's 17
Yeah, we haven't
that
decided.
you made. And then here's some other stuff if you want to do that.
Let me see what you got here.
So we've done 1 through 16 within here.
That's what I got. Yeah, that's it.
Sorry. The older I get, the more I have to use the ladies' room when the getting's good.
Don't I know that? Although, I'm saddened that I keep getting thrown out of the ladies' room.
Well, I don't get thrown out of the men's room. It's just not fair.
All right, Matt, let them have the room. Let's walk outside for a minute. I want to go check a couple things with you.
Oh, okay.
Relax.
All right.
I'm going to turn off the video. I'll turn it back on.
Maxie's killing me.
It was still going. I bet it. All right. We're ready to go back on the record here when you're ready.
Sorry, didn't have UPS on my dictionary, so we're good.
Well, Mr. Sharpstone, what I'm going to do. Oh, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Get my mask back on for one thing. We'll play for your recording. And what we're going to do is we'll provide you with a copy of this recording after the deposition, since I don't have one to do, in an audio format.
Okay.
And it's about 10 minutes. I'm going to represent to you that it's a recording of a conversation that occurred in March of 2020.
Okay.
Or 21, I'm sorry. 21?
This year.
Yeah, March of 21. When Makenzie left the place, is that correct? You remember that date, roughly that date?
Mark, like the initial time that she left?
I'm talking about March 2021, when you filed the petition, you guys agreed to disagree that she was going to leave.
Okay.
And I asked you, and remember I asked you whether or not you recalled saying, if I go down, we both go down, or worse that effect. You says you never did that.
I said I don't recall anything, but there was a lot that had happened.
Now that I've kind of reminded you, now you just sort of let the cat out of the bag, and I have a recording, and you're smart enough to know that recording is going to have words to that effect. Does that change your testimony any?
No, that's the same thing I said the first time.
Okay.
Was I don't recall there a lot was going on.
Let me ask you, when Makenzie left, wasn't one of the reasons she said she left is because she alleged that you were selling Oxycontin to people off the front step?
Yeah, she made accusations.
Do you have a prescription for Oxycontin?
No.
Do you have a prescription for hydromorphine?
Hydromorphine?
You have hydrocodone?
I mean, I have pain pills. I don't.
Do you recall what pain pills you have prescriptions for?
Yeah, it's hydromorphone.
Morphine. Thank you. And it's your statement you never sold any of that to neighbors or other people, is that correct? That she
No, I
just made
take
that.
my prescription.
If you would, like I say, I'll get you a copy of this that you can have prior to trial, but we're going to do, you'll put it here, and I'm going to send you a copy. I'm going to mark this as exhibit. We'll call this copy to come as exhibit 17, so that I can give you the copy and just attach the exhibit so that you don't have to, try and transcribe this, which I would say probably makes me the nicest guy in town. You're supposed to nod your head. Go ahead and put it here where we can hear it. Hit play.
I'm just going to put a audio play.
Gotcha.
Because I don't need you while I'm trying to pack my shit over my shoulder. It was closed. Believe me, I don't want anything that belongs to you.
Nothing belongs to me in this house.
We can do this with lawyers because I did hire a fucking lawyer for this shit.
For what shit?
For the business.
I knew you would.
But I don't want to have to fucking use it.
It's okay. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
That just shows what your plan's been.
No, it's because you're not going to use me anymore so that you can scapegoat around paying your responsibilities.
And just keep in mind that a lot of that pain has been pain towards kids that weren't mine.
I'm tired of the fucking cameras. I'm tired of living under a fucking microscope. I'm almost 39 years fucking old and I live under a fucking microscope. It's ridiculous. Poor fucking Leo. Poor fucking Leo makes $200,000 to $250,000 a fucking year and has absolutely nothing to fucking show for it.
You're right, I don't have anything to show for it because it's all yours.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
I don't
because
buy.
you hired an attorney.
Not with your money. You don't give me any money. When? When have you given me money? Oh, you think give me $200? I can hire an attorney with $200 fucking dollars? No, I can't.
Well, then that means you weren't hurting for money in like you did.
I fucking told you several times before that I don't want that shit in front of my fucking kid's face, and what do you know? She's standing on the fucking front porch while you're taking and then
Because
I
she had
have to.
already been done. She forgot something and had to come back.
I don't care.
Nothing
I
can do about
don't
it.
care.
Nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Yeah, you can, because I'm pretty sure she was fucking texting you and asking you to come out, and then why would she get out of her car? Why would she get out of her car and come up to the door?
Because she had already came and got the shit, she had forgotten to give me $20.
But I shouldn't have to. You said she forgot something.
Yeah, she forgot to give me $20.
Okay, well, I shouldn't have to answer questions to my kids about who's standing on the front porch. All I care about is that this business does not come back to bite me in the fucking ass. So, I would like for you to give me the information for the business. I'm going to give you 3 days to get all that put together for me so that I can take it to who I need to take it to have them look over it. Because I'm not going to have the government come at me for taxes unpaid and for all the shady shit that you've been doing with the business itself. Just because it's an LLC and you think there's no liabilities, you're wrong, there are liabilities. If you're not paying the fucking taxes on it, guess what? They come after me. Because, yeah, they do. You're not supposed to be just using the fucking monies from the business all willy-nilly. There's supposed to be a fucking account for it. You're supposed to be paying yourself a paycheck, not just using it however you want. That's not how it works. Okay. Well, I'm going to give you 3 days.
There's nothing to do with the business.
Okay, well, in 3 days, I will contact you for the information.
It is what it is.
Okay, if you don't want to have it, then I will have to take you to court and subpoena you. And just so you know, okay, well, I'm the one turning you in, so I'll turn you into fucking disability. I'll turn you into fucking Krishan. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that with me not knowing anything about the fucking business and you just running it under a fucking whatever you've been feeling like doing and me feeling like a fucking prisoner of this shit. I don't care. You're reaping all the benefits.
You're reaping the benefit.
How? I don't have a fucking account that any of that fucking money's going into.
Well, I
Is there an
had said
account?
something. I had fucking said.
Is there an account that I have access to that has all that fucking money from every billing? No, I don't.
Talk about getting a different debit card to see if without me being on your account, then opening.
That was so
a
you could do
business.
more shady shit.
No, what? How is it shady shit?
Because you are reaping all the benefits of this business, Leo. I am just your fucking cover front for it. That's all I am. I'm just the fucking name.
No.
So stop using my fucking name. You're gonna dissolve the fucking company, and I am done. Yes, you are.
You can't make
You better
shit.
fucking delete the Bremer Lego profile because you are not allowed to use my name or my dad's
I'm
name.
change my name right now.
Go fucking do it, motherfucker, and see what fucking happens.
Nothing. There's nothing that is so that I could close my cafe and transfer money into that because otherwise I didn't have a way to access.
Yeah, so
You
that
were
you can
supposed to-
fucking keep the paper trail on my ass and not yours so that you don't get fucking popped. That's why you want to do that.
There is no paper trail with my name.
I know. It's all in my fucking name so
So
that you
why would I
use
need-
everything, but it's in my name.
Why would I need to switch banks if there's no paper trail with my name? You just said the only
Because you
reason.
are fucking scared that they're going to find out.
No.
Because you're putting money into your own fucking account. But yet you don't have a fucking job.
Yeah, that's you transferring money.
Oh, it is? No, it isn't. Because I don't have a fucking account that any of that money goes into. Unless you fraudulently opened a fucking account with my name on it. You can do the whole fucking shit that you always fucking do, like you did with fucking Krishan. You've done it with me before where you fucking lock up the house and tell me I'm not allowed to get anything out of it and that, whatever. But I will call the police so that I can come in here and get what I need if I need something. So, just so you're aware, you're not going to, just because I'm leaving
You
the
can
house.
try to tell me and bully me.
I'm not bullying you. I'm telling you facts. You know that I'm not going to play into your fucking
Those
bullshit
sound like
because I've seen
multiple
what you do.
recordings.
Especially like when
again,
Rashawn wanted to get her stuff,
using-
you would always use the whole fucking
using-
tagline I
busy, I'm not home, you can't come
Using.
get your stuff. Okay, if that's what you want to think.
Because
yeah.
otherwise, this is just one big storage locker that you can come and go.
Okay, well, I will come and get my stuff. I'm gonna come get my stuff, but I can't do it right this second. And just like you can't fucking move your shit out right this fucking second.
I'm not moving.
Okay, but we will address this in 3 days with a lawyer.
There's nothing to address.
Yes, there is.
What is there to address?
Yes.
Because before you leave, that needs to be talked all the way through before.
Because here's how it's gonna fucking go.
No, hang on. Before you fuck us both, because you act out of emotion instead of stopping and thinking it through.
Oh, like you think anything fucking through. Actually, you do.
Yeah.
No, actually, you do. You think of ways to fuck people over and scam and be a fucking fraud.
No.
That's what you think of.
No.
Yes, it is.
Because what I did, again, was with us together.
But you act like I have done nothing fucking for you when I am putting my name on the fucking line for you. I am letting you run an entire fucking business that you are making gobs of money on and not... Yeah, when you're telling my fucking kid that you're making $200,000 this year?
I said that's my projection.
Yeah. Let me see your fucking billing cycle. Let me see. But you won't let me see that because you don't want me to know how much you're actually drawing in.
I don't care. Like I said, it was us.
Well, in 3 days you can have that information. I am not going to sit here and argue
There
with
is
you.
no more us.
I know. You can
So,
have the information
you're
in
not
3
entitled to
days.
anything.
Yes, I am because my name's on the company, so I am entitled
Then
to
you
it.
should have that information.
Well, I don't, and I'll bring the police to get it and a fucking lawyer.
That's what I'm saying, that you might want to finish this conversation
Then why aren't you going to give me the information?
because there's no reason for it.
Why?
Because
Why can't I have it? Why can't I see it? My name's on the business. My name's on the business
what's the purpose for it?
because it's my company.
Okay.
So give me the shit from my company. You're withholding information from me.
Then are you going to start doing all the work?
Yep.
Who's all your clients?
I don't know because you've been fucking running it and frauding everyone.
That's where I said before you do anything.
Okay, you can sit here and threaten me. I'm
No,
leaving
it's
the
not
house.
threatening.
Can you please move out of my way?
Before you do anything, you might want to stop and think it through because the fraud falls on both of us.
Okay, well thank you for doing that for me. I didn't know you're not paying fucking taxes.
I am paying taxes.
Then why am I not signing anything?
You don't have to pay taxes.
Yes, you do.
That was a tax ID number. So that when the year ends...
No, you're supposed to be paying quarterly.
No.
Yes.
How much is your car insurance?
Like what, $100? Oh,
What's it do?
you give me $100? I don't know, but I'll find a new fucking insurance company.
No.
I don't give a shit.
How much is the water bill and the lights and the gas? And...
Oh.
Yes, you don't see that.
Yeah, when you're making $200,000 a
I'm not.
month.
See, that's
I
the
mean,
problem.
here.
You fucking listen to a fucking child that doesn't know fucking shit about what you...
Then why'd you fucking brag to her about
I
it?
wasn't.
Yes, you were.
Did you recognize the voices on that, what is going to be Exhibit 17?
Yeah.
Right, and was the male voice you?
From what it sounds like, yeah, but it's multiple recordings, it seems like.
And why do you think it seems like that?
Because of the volume influx and just the background noise seemed to be all over, so...
Do you recall that conversation now that you heard possibly an excerpt of it?
Honestly, no.
You don't recall it at all?
No.
And if the original conversation was in fact condensed from 58 minutes, you would remember almost an hour of discussion about that, is that correct?
I don't... If that's from when she left, it wasn't an hour from the time we started talking, so I don't know.
Now, let me ask you, when she left, did she have a laptop that had information on it?
I mean, she had a laptop. I don't know about what was on it. It was hers.
If I told you that Exhibits 9 and 10 were both pulled from that laptop, and that information had been entered by you, would you say that that was true or not true? 9 and 10 are those two exhibits that have the list of names. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with what I'm talk about?
Yeah.
And that you entered that stuff onto that laptop and found out later and took it off the laptop. Would you say that's true or false?
False, because I don't have access to that laptop and it was hers.
You don't know how to remotely access a laptop? You don't have that technical sufficiency?
I don't have any Windows-based stuff.
Okay. Did you hear your voice say on that tape that the fraud will fall on both of us?
Well, that's with her making accusations that there was
That wasn't
fraudulent
the
activity.
question. The question was, did you hear on that tape that the fraud will be on both of us?
Yes, I heard that.
And did you say that?
Yes, I said that.
And your explanation is because she was making accusations. Correct?
Sure.
Right. Social Inspector was formed in January of 2021, I think. Is that what that said?
I think January 22nd, I think.
All right. So that means really the first annual income tax will probably due in April of 2022. Would you agree with that?
I don't know how the business tax stuff works.
Well, my guess is you're on a calendar year. My guess is that you're reporting as an individual, whatever. So there is no irreparable damage been done at this point in time because the tax returns will be due in 2022. Okay? All right. Please keep that in mind. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, did you be completely truthful with me today?
Yes.
I'm going to just, as a matter of cleanup, I'm going to move the admission of exhibits 1 through 17. You don't need to worry about that. It's for the record. Copies of which will be attached to the deposition. Okay?
I don't think I have 17.
No one has 17.
Oh, okay.
17 is...
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so, the court reporter will reduce this to writing. Okay? And if you want a copy of it, you'll make arrangements with the court reporter. She will give you that information today if you want to purchase it.
Okay.
Okay? Anything you say here today, that you've said here today, first of all, you would agree that truthful.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. And anything that you say here today, at the time of trial, if I'm able to demonstrate that it's not truthful, I'm going to show that to the judge. Okay?
Yes.
And in producing any sort of contrary or contradictory statements, do you understand that it will make it look as if you're being deceptive?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
As to depositions, so after she reduces it to writing, there's a process they go through. And you can read and sign, or you can waive your signature and allow this to be used without reading. If you want to read it, she can provide you with a copy.
So it's just me like attesting it's a true and accurate.
Well, actually, it's not testing her accurate. What you can do is you can correct any errors that you claim that she made in transcribing my words or your words.
Okay.
I've been doing this for well over 40 years. So far, I have none that I've found. Other than I think Peggy mixed up one time on cookies, and I told her I wanted chocolate chip. So, would you like to review this deposition and sign it, or would you waive signature and you can purchase a copy? It's up to you.
I don't know what's the normal process.
As a general rule, we waive signature, and if you want to review the deposition, you can. There is really, everybody has their own sort of way of doing things.
Okay.
I've been using Cooper and now Vertex for a long time, and they tend to be pretty accurate.
Okay.
So, but it's up to you. I mean, it's a right that you have.
I mean, I don't really know, so I guess I'm okay with doing the waiving or whatever you said it was.
Waiving signature. Actually, technically it's waiving presentment, which means that, I guess in the old days, they had the court reporters take it out, hand it to you, wait for you to review it, sign it, and notarize it. I've never seen presentment requested. So that's first is waive presentment. Okay? We're good with that. You're nodding your head. She can't do that. Okay.
Sorry.
You agree to waive presentment?
Yes.
Fine. The next thing is, do you agree to waive signature? Do you have a right to sign the copy of the deposition?
Yes.
Okay. And if you want a copy, she'll get it. Now, is there anything else that you Have any questions about, in regards to obtaining the deposition copy?
If I do want a copy, is that emailed to me, or is this something I'm gonna get today, like with the information? How to
She's going to
request it?
provide you with a card, I assume, today?
Okay.
And she'll, okay, I don't think we need to be on the record anymore. Okay. Sorry, I meant to do that.
Let me just make this real easy. This is all, I do not work for him. I work for somebody else. He just pays their bills. So I can send it to you. I can't tell you how much it's going to be. I can give you a card. You can call my office. They can tell you how much it would be.
Okay.
If you wanted a copy of it, I can't give you any of that information
Sure.
today. And it's not produced. It's 2 weeks from today that it's produced.
Okay. If I can just have a card, just so
Absolutely.
I have it, just if
Absolutely.
needed.
When's our trial date?
I think it's the 16th or
Yeah,
something like
16th,
that.
give you enough time?
Oh yeah, it's 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, I thought it was just, yeah,
Is
I
it good enough for you to-
didn't think I needed, I didn't ask for an expedite, because I thought I had plenty of time.
Yeah, you've got plenty of time. Yeah, please don't expedite on the week before the holiday, please.
What?
I mean, if you need it, I will do it.
I told you I was one of the nicest guys out there, didn't I? You don't listen to me, you don't believe me.
I believe you. Honest to God, though, we don't write those during the depos. You have to send that in and pay a different price to have that
I'm not
audited.
gonna do that. And so what I will do,
This is the job number, so you can give them the job number, and they'll be able to give you the information on it.
fine. And what I'm gonna do is I will make a copy of 17,
And email it to Veritex. They'll get it to me.
give me the other text, and we'll just have to be, we'll just
Attach it.
attach it, whatever, probably on, I guess, on a floppy or on a thumb. Just attach it, and those are all the exhibits.
Yeah, we can send you, but since do you really want us? Do you want to pay for a copy of it for us to send you a copy of it?
Oh, what?
Because I can just upload it and have it attached.
Upload and attach, no, I don't want you, I want to do whatever cheapest, how's that?
Then I'm just going to attach it. I'm not going to send you a copy.
Excellent, okay.
I'll send you a copy of the transcript, but not the exhibits.
Copy.
But I'll attach
But
the
you'll be
exhibits.
able to upload it to,
Yes.
so it's available, so that
Yes.
you can get it then, okay.
Now, is that the recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
17 is the recording.
Okay.
Very good, have a good day. Wilford.
Thank
It
you.
becomes a legal document because I'm an officer of the court.
Okay.
Okay, I need to save all this and pack it all up, and then I'll be out of here.
Did you need this for anything?
Not anymore, actually, I did, because I'm gonna take it and give it back to the guy who brought it, so it'll be kind of funny.
Oh, I thought that was on the ones I gave you. Sorry.
It may have been, I don't know. I'll buy you another one.
I lose those things on a daily basis. I'm not trying anymore. Flash drives.
All right. He should have had a word.
Yep.
He's fucked.
I mean, it's in his own words.
Yep.
He should have had a word. I just,
Well, how can you? I don't understand how a lawyer would even be able to represent
a
him.
lawyer would have made sure that this property was transitioned, it was already done, and we'd have never dug into social inspector. We'd have made a deal on the side, and the only thing that happened is because he did it. And now he's, oh, turn that off.